You want a perfect credit score. Not because you're obsessed with numbers, but because you want the perks that come with it. Lower interest rates, easier approvals, better apartments, cheaper insurance in some places, more negotiating power, less financial stress. And then you search online, and you see the usual nonsense. Buy my course. Get this premium credit builder, pay a service to fix your credit. And you're like, bro, I just want a clean, elite credit score without paying for some gimmick. So here's the truth. A perfect credit score doesn't require money. It requires precision. It's not about doing 50 things. It's about avoiding a few stupid mistakes and doing a few boring things consistently. Today, I am going to show you how to build a near-perfect credit score for no paid credit repair, no credit builder subscriptions, no fancy hacks, just the exact system. And once you understand it, you'll realize most people don't have bad credit because they're broke. They have bad credit because they're sloppy. Let's fix that. First, we need to kill the biggest myth. People think credit scores are a measure of how rich you are. Wrong. A credit score is a measure of how predictable you are at paying borrowed money back. That's it. The credit bureaus are basically saying, if we lend to this person, will they behave like a robot or like chaos? So if you want a perfect score, you need to look like the most boring, reliable, predictable human on earth. That's the game. And the game has 5 parts. Payment history, utilization, age of credit, credit mix, new inquiries. But don't worry, this isn't going to be a lecture. I'm going to turn it into a simple operating system you can run. Here's the system. The $0 perfect credit stack. 4 rules. If you follow these 4 rules long enough, your score climbs like it has a rocket strapped to it. Rule number 1. Never miss a payment. Ever. Because payment history is the biggest piece of your score. And here's what people don't realize. You don't get bonus points for being early. You get punished for being late. So the goal is not to be a hero. The goal is to be automatic. You set up Autopay for the minimum payment on every credit card. Minimum payment. Autopay. Always. Why minimum and not full? Because the minimum is your safety net. The full balance is your choice. If your bank account ever has a weird month, Autopay still protects your credit. Then, on top of that safety net, you set a second habit. Pay the full statement balance manually or with Autopay if you can. But the minimum Autopay is non-negotiable. That one setting alone prevents the mistake that destroys credit scores. And it costs you $0. Rule number 2. Keep your utilization low. Like, stupid low. Utilization is how much of your available credit you're using. And this is where most people get tricked. They think, I'm paying my card off every month, so I'm good. Not necessarily. Because your score doesn't care what you do at the end of the month. It cares what gets reported. And what gets reported is usually your statement balance. So if your credit limit is $1,000 and your statement closes at $700, you're at 70% utilization, even if you pay it off the next day. That can tank your score. So if you want a near-perfect score, you play the utilization game properly. You keep reported utilization under 10%, ideally 1-5. How? 2 easy tactics that cost $0. First, pay your card before the statement closes. Not the due date, the statement close date. That's the date that creates the balance that gets reported. So you can use your card normally, but a few days before the statement closes. You pay it down so the reported balance is tiny. Second, if you have multiple cards, spread spending across them, so no single card reports high. And if you only have one card and a low limit, then either keep spending low on it or make multiple small payments during the month. Again, boring, but it works. Rule number 3. Don't close old cards. Keep them alive. Credit aid matters. People sabotage themselves by closing their oldest card because they don't use it. That's like deleting your resume because you got a new job. Instead, do this. Keep your oldest no annual fee card open forever. If it has an annual fee and you don't want it, downgrade it to a no-fee version if possible. Then set one tiny recurring charge on it like a $5 subscription and set Autopay. Now your oldest account stays active, your payment history grows, and your utilization ratio improves because your total available credit stays higher. $0. Rule number 4. Be allergic to unnecessary applications. Every time you apply for new credit, you get a hard inquiry. Hard inquiries can temporarily drop your score, and too many makes you look desperate. So the move is simple. Stop shopping for credit cards like they're sneakers. Only apply when it actually fits the plan. If you're building perfect credit, you don't need 12 cards. You need a stable setup. Now at this point, you might be thinking, okay, cool. But what if I'm starting from zero? Like, I have no credit history. Perfect. Here's the $0 starter path. Step 1. Get a no annual fee credit card that you can qualify for. If you can't qualify for a normal one, use a secured card, but choose one with no annual fee if possible. You're not paying for a credit builder. You're just using the basic tool. Step 2. Put one small recurring charge on it. Step 3. Autopay minimum. Step 4. Keep utilization under 10%, ideally 1-5. Then wait. Because credit is not built by intensity. It's built by time. And this is where most people lose. They get impatient. They want the score to jump in 30 days like it's a fitness transformation. But credit is more like growing a tree. You can't yank it taller. You water it and you don't mess with it. Now, let me give you the secret sauce that gets you from good to elite. It's called the AZEO method, all 0 except 1. This is what people do when they want their score to look pristine for a mortgage or a big loan. Here's the idea. If you have multiple credit cards, you let all of them report a 0 balance, except one card that reports a tiny balance like 1% of its limit. Why? Because the scoring models like to see that you're using credit responsibly, but not relying on it. So 0 on most cards shows control, and a tiny balance on one card shows activity. This is optional for everyday life, but if you're trying to squeeze out every last point, this is the move. Now, let's talk about the biggest scam in the perfect credit world. People pay money to remove accurate negative marks. If it's accurate, it usually stays. If it's inaccurate, you dispute it yourself for free. So here's the $0 credit cleanup process. You pull your credit reports. You look for errors, wrong balances, wrong accounts, late payments you didn't miss, accounts that aren't yours. You dispute inaccuracies, and you set up alerts so you know if something changes. All free. Now, I'm going to hit you with something that sounds like a flex, but it's actually a warning. A perfect credit score is not the goal. The goal is financial freedom, and credit is a tool. It's useful when it saves you money. It's dangerous when it tricks you into spending money. So the real win is this. You build elite credit while living like you don't need it. That's power. That's self-mastery. Because the person with a perfect score and no savings is still broke. But the person with a perfect score, cash reserves and discipline, it can move through life on easy mode. So here's your perfect credit score routine, your daily routine that costs Autopay minimum on every card. Keep reported utilization under 10%. Ideally 1-5 by paying before statement close. Never close old Novi cards. Stop applying for random credit. Dispute errors for free. And give it time. That's it. Boring. Predictable. Robot-like. And that's exactly why it works. If you want, I can make a one-page checklist you can screenshot exact dates to watch, how to find your statement close date, and a simple tracker to hit AZEO automatically. If you want that, comment credit stack. And remember, perfect credit isn't something you buy. It's something you become.